They say when you feel a shiver down your spine, somebody is walking on your future grave. Isn't it funny, officer? I'm still giving you the shivers. I can't deny that. It's been like this since he walked in, perfectly still, even without any restraint, shoulders hunched towards me and barely blinking. I've seen dozens just like him, the dead eyes of someone incapable of feeling remorse for his actions. He has been in custody for 4 hours already, and I have only 5 minutes to break him and make him talk. Let me remind you why you're here. My colleagues deciphered your Zodiac-like letters you sent us, daring us to find you, and you got arrested. You got what you wanted, Eliot. Now tell me where you buried him. He's still alive, but that won't be for long. You're right, officer. Air doesn't last that long in a sealed coffin. However, in 5 minutes, it won't matter. And don't worry, the bitch had it coming. What do you mean? I've never been good at socializing, you know? Ever since I can remember, people avoided me because I'm different. I spent more time reading under the dead hemlock tree alone than being with other people. The murder tree? That one. But the birds, they make me feel at ease. Have you ever had a bird in your hand, officer? You're a good person. I love birds. I swore to protect them from harm because nobody else will. The world is already cruel as it is. But now, I've memorized all the songs. I've seen some hatch and cry with joy. I've seen birds take flight for the first time. I even had ducklings follow me as if I were their mama. But this is important, officer. You'll see in a moment. As I was saying, birds are my only solace. My favorites, ravens. Those gentle, frail creatures live in a world where they are shunned because they're weird and scary. I feel akin to them. And you know, they're considered as bad omens. Yeah, pretty much. I built a home for them in Avery. Then why did you do it? Stop wasting time. You see, when I was coming back home, I heard gunshots, like ones from hunters. And then, my poor creatures, all lying on the floor in a gush of blood, the eggs smashed, broken black feathers everywhere. I cried, officer. Stop right there. Now that the motive is clear, I wonder which approach should I use? Do you think that this justifies burying a man alive? I don't care if he dies. I want him to suffer in fear, just like my poor creatures did. And if he gets out of here, he'll feel like a new man for sure. Let's talk about what we found in your room. It was filled with journals about past death's ritual. Oh, do you like it? It was an ancient Egyptian belief. When a person dies, the heart was weighted against the feather of Mat, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was heavier, well, Eliot starts giggling, giving a weird, satisfied smirk. It looks more like a punishment, and he's delighted by that. His victim wouldn't pass the judgment, nor would I. It was filled journal about the past death's ritual Tower of Silk. Have ever heard of them? Many years ago, they built them for its carnation. They didn't want to taint the earth with the corpse, so they left them to the canary and birds. It was a way to give back to the nature. I know he was thinking about it. His victim must be damaging the earth by living. It's a generous practice from East Asia. There's a variant where you put the body in a hollow tree trunk and wait for the birds. A hollow tree trunk? Definitely more practical than a coffin. Did he use a burial tree or... Ah, too late, too late. Don't worry, officer, it's not your fault. He brought this upon himself when he attacked the ravens. They're messengers of death, after all. Indian messengers of death. The man buried under the murder tree. I quickly made a call for reinforcements while Eliot was looking at me with a blank, motionless stare of contempt. I received the confirmation they found the burial site. My intuition was right. He wanted to feed the victims to the raven. You're going to prison. You understand? Loud and clear, officer. Allow me just this. I just have one request. A favor, if you want to put it that way. What is it? I was expecting to hear something deranged come out of his mouth, but he gently reached for the bag I confiscated earlier. I froze for a minute, fearing he was going to threaten me with a weapon as a last resort. And then Eliot hands me a tiny little egg in a box. I won't be able to hatch it now. It's the only survivor from the nest, officer. And as you can imagine, it's been with me since I can't trust anyone. Please take care of it for me. Promise me you'll teach it to fly and everything will be all right. Would you like to give it a name? Call it Junior. Well, I'll call it Junior. Junior, please take care of it. And thank you. Ending. Little Junior.